मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्। हरे कृष्ण। Thank you, dear devotees, for joining the call today. Every day is an opportunity for us to introspect, to go within, journey within, to understand again and again, continuously trying to stay in that consciousness. Why to consider chanting of Hare Krishna to be imagination? Now, how this imaginary state will come? Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj is praying in the bhajan, is telling that when will the ecstatic feelings will come? When will the throat be choked up? When will I falter? When will the tears flow from the eyes? When will I completely reciprocate? These are actually the top reciprocations from the Lord, which is like too far, too far. Even it is not there in the awareness. But on the other side, why to consider chanting of Hare Krishna to imagination? Now, when we do something in a state of imagination, that means we are not there. That means uh, we are trying to find where the root is. What is that imaginary state? We don't know where the root is. Actually, the root is at the beginning of the tree. It is connected to the ground. But at this moment, we don't know where the root is. We are trying to figure out the root. Now, when acharyas, then when they come into our life, what they tell is, no, 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 you don't have to figure out. I'll tell everything. You don't have to do research. All the research I have done, I will just give you the result. Just accept the results. So this is the state which will remove us from the imaginary state. Now, why imaginary state will come? It is through illusion. Because illusion is the father of that imaginary state. Because it's all in the consciousness, dear devotees. It is nothing manifested externally. Externally, externally we cannot tell that whether we are in the illusory state or the imaginary state. It's only through the process of hearing we can understand that how this illusion is actually keeping us in imaginary state. Because if a person, again we'll take the same example of the tree, if a person has no awareness, or let's say a child who is going and then trying to touch the fire. The fire is burning. He felt that, oh, this is something special. Let me go and touch it. I'm seeing it for the first time. Let me go and touch it. So he has that. He has that desire to touch it. But technically, if you see, if the mother or father is watching, then they know that, oh, this child doesn't know this. Let me teach him. Right? So through that teaching, what is happening is he's in an illusory state. Through that teaching, he'll come out of that illusory state. That if you touch the fire, your hand will be burned. You shouldn't touch the fire. You can see the fire, but you cannot touch it. So certain norms and rules are being given. So when certain norms and rules are being given, then what happens is the imaginary state is slowly dissipated. It's removed from the heart. That means the cover of illusion is removed. Just like the clouds were there in the sky, actually clouds came based on the through sun only, right? But now the clouds are covering the sun. That doesn't mean that clouds are superior to sun, or that doesn't mean that sun is not there. It's only a state of consciousness where it is covering. We can see actually clearly. We can see now sun is coming. It's almost about to come. It's like 5:54 at our place. It's almost about to come. We know that sun is there because every day we see. We know that sun will come because we have that experience. We know that he will give us light. We know everything is there. But right now he's not there. That doesn't mean that he's not there. This try to understand. It's very important. The sun is there and he will come slowly. The moment he comes, oh, we understand, oh, sun is there. Likewise, dear devotees, the moment we come out of that imaginary state, the chanting of Hare Krishna will be very different. You know how the chanting of Hare Krishna will be? Our heart will be light. We will be in the presence, which is goodness. And then we try to hear the names. We know when we hear the names, we are with Krishna. And the moment we hear that attentively, then we be grateful to our acharyas. That thank you, it is through you. It is through your process. It is through your giving. We are able to chant. And then what is this? What is all these things? These are all the reciprocation which are happening in the heart. Now, when this is happening, when we are away from this imaginary state. Now, the father of this imagination is what? Illusion. The solution to the illusion is what? Is the truth. So slowly, when the things are perceived in the way it's supposed to be perceived, then what happens? Then we come out of that. Just like Shringi, he was in illusion. But he didn't know that he was in illusion. Why? Through false ego. There is a reason also why illusion is very strong. They're all brothers. Illusion, false ego. They're all brothers. Just stay together. The more the illusion means, the more the thickness of what? Thickness of false ego. Actually, false ego is the last snare before one head towards the spiritual world, towards the spiritual realm. Mind, intelligence, and false ego. So these three have to be in these three stages. Illusion is there. Please understand. Illusion actually remains in mind and also in intelligence and also in false ego. Now through this, imaginary state comes, which is nothing but speculation. That means whatever we think, whatever we feel, thinking, feeling, and willing. Prabhupada very simply, lucidly explains. Thinking, feeling, willing means consciousness. Now this thinking, feeling, willing is what we need to purify. Now that is a sadhaka's life. That is a duty of the sadhaka. Just like Srila Prabhupada when he gives initiation. He says, initiation is the beginning. It's not the end. It is the beginning. Where the sadhaka is given an opportunity to follow those four regulative principles. No intoxication, no eating, no illicit sex, no gambling. We say you follow these four principles and then chant Hare Krishna 16 days, 16 hours, 16 rounds. So when we chant like that, what happens is this thinking, feeling, willing is purified. Or when we hear from them, when we understand the truth, what is happening? Because unless and until, for example, we are just chanting but not hearing. Let us take the situation. We are just chanting but not hearing. Not doing Shravana or not hearing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That means the Shravana is not there. We are just chanting. Then what happens? Then even though we know the philosophy, slowly, material nature will pull us again back into the visionary state. Because why? These things are always there, dear devotees. In the mind, illusion is there. In the intelligence, illusion is there. In the false ego, illusion is there. That means this kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madamatsara, this lust, greed, anger, envy, false ego, pride, these things are there actually in these stages. Can somebody mute? I'm not sure who's speaking. Okay, so
No, I know, but I
okay. So this illusory state is what? This illusory state is remaining in this material plane, which is the source of everything they are devotees. Now that is the reason why what Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj or all the acharyas are telling us that there is happiness in this. You can experience, you can relish the process. When we understand that, then we get so much shelter. That means we have a goal and the destination. We know where we are supposed to go. For example, you go to the USPS office and then you have to send a packet to your friend. It's a parcel. And his address is 1500 Georgetown Drive. His address is 1500 Georgetown Drive. And rather than 1500, you wrote 7500 Georgetown Drive. There is another home which is 7500 Georgetown Drive. That means where it would go? Will it go to 1500 Georgetown Drive? No, it will go to 7500 Georgetown Drive. Because that's what we have written. That means whatever we actually write, that is what is our destination is. And the philosophy of impersonalism, you can worship everything, you go to the same destination. Now, how is that happening? Because actually, that is a fact also. Because the intention of worship is different. What is the intention of worship? The intention of worship is towards the energy of the Lord. It's not towards the Lord. Because Lord is personal. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. Anantarupam, yes. Adyam, Purana Purusha. He's a Purusha, Purana Purusha. He's the first person. Again, Brahmaji knows, he says, the moment he says Purana Purusha, the people might think that he's an old person. No, he's not old. Purana Purusha Navayavanamcha. That means he's like young. Nava Yavanamcha. He's Purana, but still he's young. Do we see that in the material world? We don't see. If a person who's Purana, he's old. Right? But the Lord and his body and his devotees and their bodies are all transcendental. In the spiritual world, everything is in the transcendental plane. That they don't become old, that they don't get diseased. There is no lamentation, there is no hankering. There is no hankering for something. Everything is available. So that is the state. So in the impersonal plane, what is happening? This is another illusion. Prabhupada says impersonalism is the greatest illusion. So through this illusion, what is happening? They say that you can worship anyone, you'll go to the same destination. Which everyone in India, they perceive this truth. Because when the principles of Buddhism and when the principles of impersonalism propagated by Buddha and Shankaracharya, everyone, that is the reason why we have so many pictures way back home in India before coming to Krishna consciousness. We have so many pictures in home. Why? This is the reason. We have Ganeshji, we have Lord Shiva, we have Mother Durga Devi. So many. Sai Baba. So many. Sai Baba is new, he came new. There are so many things which are there. Why all of these things are there? It is through the principles of Panchopasana. That's how it evolved. That means you worship anyone, you go to the same destination. That means what are they giving? They are not giving importance to these personalities, but they are giving importance to the energy behind it. Now that was the reason why so many photos came. Because the thing is, dear devotees, please understand this. Now, if a question is been asked, nobody knows the reason now. For example, if somebody is asking their parents that, mother, why are you worshiping so many personalities here? Then she might not know the answer, but the answer is this. Because you worship anyone, but the core of the worship is what? To merge in the energy of the Lord. In the energy. It is not of the Lord. Energy is superior into the energy itself. This is the illusory state. Because Shankaracharya's whole idea to inculcate this philosophy is what is people were completely against the scriptures. And then Lord Buddha came and then he stopped. Just give up the scriptures, do this. There is no existence. You, me, I, we are all same. After this, we will merge. Just do that. That means he stopped. He stopped acceptance of scriptures because people were misusing the scriptures. That means Lord comes again and again in different ways and means to actually reinstate that natural state of connecting the root, which we are trying to discuss. This is an imaginary state. These are all various imaginary states in this life, dear devotees. They all get connected to each other because this is an illusion. This is in complete illusion. And that is the reason why so many pictures are there. Because the reason behind it is they say you worship anyone, you go to the same destination. Because the core of the thinking, feeling, willing is what? Core of the thinking and thinking, feeling, willing is given to the importance of the energy of the Lord, but not giving importance to the energy. Why Prabhupada named it as impersonalism? Because there is no person in it. There is just energy. Now this entire material world is bounded through this impersonalism. Now you ask anyone, they say that this mother nature is giving. It is the beauty of the mother nature. That means they proclaim the energy, but they do not proclaim the person behind it. Anyone you ask, this is a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful scenery. Yes, it's a beautiful scenery, but you should remember Krishna behind that. Yes, there is Niagara Falls beautifully falling from the top, and then it's a gorgeous scene. But who created that water? Now, how is that falling? Now, there is a sun which comes very magnanimous. Without sun, there is no existence. But who is the source for that sun? This is inquiry. This is thinking we need to do. When this thinking continuously comes, imaginary will not stay in our heart. Imagination will never stay in the heart. Do you see imagination staying in the heart? When Krishna comes, Maya doesn't stay. When Maya is there, Krishna doesn't come. Krishna is there, but he is covered. And he himself is covered by the material nature. That doesn't mean that the moment he's covered, he's superior, he's inferior. No. He's telling the material nature to cover him up. Because the purpose of this material nature is meant for that, to keep us in illusion. So that is why the subtle body is very powerful than the grass. Because this subtle body is actually driving the grass. I'll give another example. For example, you are speaking to your friend, and then your friend has purchased, and let's say he purchased a new dining table, and then he's kind of explaining that very nicely. Then he says that it's in a deal. It's supposed to be $1,000. No, I bought it for 800. I got a good deal. It's wow, it's wonderful, it's perfect wood, and then he gives so many details. Now, what are we doing? We are hearing, and then you do not have a desire to purchase that, but the mind will not stay there. After a few days, mind will bring up that, what, your friend, I know he's a good person. No, he's given this, let us buy. The mind will tell. One thought it will tell. And then afterwards it will tell some more things. Or not, this mind doesn't work only from us, it will work from our spouses also, from our partners, husband or wife. It will work from them also, because mind is there in their heart also. Because they also heard, and they start telling, let us do this. Even though we do not accept, even though we don't think that's a requirement for us, but they begin telling it. Now we are bounded. We have to, even though if it is required or not, we have to purchase it. Now slowly, this is how this entire world is actually affecting us through various people. Kali Purusha works like that. How is Kali Purusha working? Kali Purusha is working actually like this. And then when we deal with that, then we become what? We become bounded. Then we come into the illusory state again. That's why the Shravana should go continuously. Actually, Shravana begins after the class, not in the class. Yes, in the class we hear, but our meditations, our taking their shelter, our acceptance of the truths, following them, understanding them, their thinking, feeling, and willing. When the thinking, feeling, and willing is purified, then imagination will not stay. Why imagination will stay? Because what are we thinking? We are thinking about the truth. We are thinking about what we have to do. That is what we are trying to do. We are not remain. We don't remain in an illusory state. We remain in illusory state when the thinking is changed. So the process of Shravana is what? Is to transform that thinking process, so that we can come out of that illusory state. That is the input. That is the importance we need to accept. Because if you see, if we see the life of Srila Prabhupada, a couple of days back, we brought up this aspect. When Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur left in 1935, 45, 55, 65, 30 years, his thinking, feeling, and willing is on display. It is continuously finding ways and means. And we see through Lilamrita, we see that he sends back to Godhead magazines to various countries, various libraries. He gives those back to Godhead magazines to big people like Prime Minister, and then he tries to have an appointment with them, and then tries to tell this Krishna consciousness is the essence of everything. He's trying to find various ways and means. But the core of that what? The core is what? He wants to please. Because he got that instruction. He said, dear spiritual master, do I have a personal instruction? He received the personal instruction. What is he doing? He is doing so many things around that. That means this is called as watering the root. That means when we have something, when we get an instruction, when we perceive this is what I need to do, then when we begin doing it, illusion dissipates. The transcendental happiness, the transcendental nectar comes. So there is no question of illusion. But slowly, these things, when it comes into manifestation, into actions, then we will experience. Just like Arjuna was given that special vision. Unless Arjuna was given that special vision, he couldn't see the Vishwarupa. Krishna tells Arjuna that, my dear Arjuna, now I'm going to give you the special vision so that you can see this gigantic, humongous form of Virat Purusha, which also is temporary. Now, the moment Arjuna sees that, wow, what Krishna, what is this? Who are you? Then he began asking this question, who are you? From where you came? What are you doing here? And what is this? All those people are going, are being crushed and are being crushed in your under your teeth. What's happening here? Arjuna says, my dear Lord, I cannot see this. I want to see your Shamsundar form. I can't see this. It's very dangerous. No, I don't see that you as my friend. You're something else. Then he's offering obeisances to Krishna. Now, how is this all happening? Because Krishna gave him that vision. Out of his free will, just like we have free will, Krishna has unlimited free will. Because he's the source of that free will. A lot of devotees would ask, oh, why am I unable to experience, or why Krishna is not, reciprocating, why there are difficulties, why is Krishna not removing those difficulties? There is a reason for that. Just like we have free will, Krishna also has free will. Krishna is trying to test. Krishna is trying to give various ways and means so that we can come closer to him. Krishna is telling, Baba, just don't worry. Just go through it. Grow through it. There's this problem, that problem. Don't worry. Just move on. Just accept every situation as a blessing of the Lord. That's what Arjuna did. He had the difficulty, he expressed it in front of the Lord, and then he just kept quiet. Because he immediately understood that, oh, no, I'm in a state of illusion. No, somehow I need to take shelter of the Lord. And he immediately took the shelter. Then he accepted. This is the process. This is the process. Understanding it, knowing it, accepting it. So when our thinking, feeling, willing are changed, is changing, then we need to understand this is our right state. At every moment, we need to check what am I thinking, what am I feeling, what am I doing. Willing. Because whatever we think, that is what we do, because that is what we are willing. Because we feel. It's like we took that example. That is not required. The dining table is not required. We already have one. But just that it is coming in a deal, or just that it is supposed to be, just that I have some another room where I can fill it off with this stuff. You don't have to do that. But the problem is we started thinking about it. Why the manifestation will happen? Because we begin thinking about it. Then we put it in action. For the Lord, the action means, for the Lord it is different. Now, to put it in action, we need to do some work. We need to go to the store, we need to, purchase, we need to open up our credit card and then sell, and then come back home. But for the Lord, it is different. When He created this entire material world, He just glanced on this Mahat Tattva. Just through His glancing. Bhagavatam says, let there be a creation. That means creation happened. Now let it maintain. Then for that, for whatever is required for that maintenance, everything is provided. Oh, let this be destroyed. Then for that, whatever destruction, everything is provided. Brahmaji came, Mahavishnu came, Lord Shiva came. Brahmaji for creation, Mahavishnu for maintenance, Lord Shiva for destruction. They came. That means when Krishna desires something, then you see a manifestation. Now, this thinking, feeling, and willing is coming from the Lord only. That is a state of consciousness. Lord thinks, so that's why we are thinking. See, everything is connected to the root. Lord has those qualities, that's why we have. Now, the moment when we are in this material realm, the qualities are perverted. That means it is reflection. Srila Prabhupada uses the word perverted. Reflection. What is that reflection? Transform. That means love transformed to lust. Because the moment we have an expectation, then the love is transformed to lust. Expectations. Because these expectations are also coming from thinking, feeling, and willing. For example, if I expect everyone should, if for example, if a person is expecting everyone should respect me or worship me, whatever it is, it's an expectation. If that expectation is not met, then what happens? Dejection comes. Because that is what we are expecting. So everything is a check and balance. What we are expecting, what we are doing, what we are thinking, what we are feeling, this will remove us from illusion. When the truth comes, illusion goes away. Hare Krishna. I would like to stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to reflect? Would like to share? Hare Krishna. Hope it is making sense. Because illusion, speculation, imagination all go together. But this truth has to be taken more and more. Then we come out of it. For this, truth has to be taken more and more, through which the illusion is dissipated. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata seva. Bhagavati uttama shlokya bhakti bhavati nashti. This we need to realize. This is the whole point why Srila Prabhupada told us. This is our business. Think about it, understand about it, discuss about it. Prabhupada always used to say, don't come with me with, Prabhupada, what is this, what is this, with small questions. Think, understand. Lord gave you intelligence. Think about it more and more. Then it makes sense. Then you see everything in this world is making sense. The entire creation is making sense. Wherever we go, we see a tree, we remember the Lord. We remember beautiful lessons Acharyas have given us. If the tree is not watered, that means the tree will die. Because the roots are not cultivated. Likewise, when Shravana Kirtana is not there, we die on a consciousness level. We die. Hare Krishna. Very important. Very, 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 very important. If we are not connected to the root, we die. We might stay in this body, which is also temporary, but consciously we die. Because the thinking, feeling, willing is somewhere else. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Hare
Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhuji, thank you so very much for the message. As always, every day. So my reflection, yesterday we were reading Bhagavad Gita 8 to 9. My turn of reading the translation. There in the shloka, it was mentioned as Sat and Asat. So Sat, true knowledge, and then translation of Prabhupada, Asat, illusion. Right away, illusion.
Correct.
So very nicely, and you're very true, Prabhu, as we understand the truth and as heard from the spiritual masters, and having faith on that word would give us where Krishna will give that intelligence to identify and everything to make sense. So very true, Prabhu. All we need to do is give that time to observe ourselves, our consciousness, rather than going here and there. Yeah, thank you so very much, Prabhu. That's fine.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Narapanama goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for the wonderful lecture, Prabhuji. And thank you for the wonderful bhajan from Sivalas Prabhuji.